Alright guys, it is that time of year again. We are back at the Wisconsin Musky Expo here in Wausau, Wisconsin, and we're looking forward to a fun weekend here full of muskies. So we've got our booth set up. We actually expanded it this year, so we've got more space. Just got a fresh shipment of apparel in, and we're also adding something totally new this year as far as our signage from Burnin here. So we got some wall decor, cabin decor, man cave, whatever, wherever you guys want to put it. But we also have our selection of just a few of our top baits with some custom colors from Burnin. So all this is going to be on our website as well. But we're looking forward to a weekend full of talking with fans and just looking forward to the next season here. So we're going to get you guys some interviews as far as with some different vendors, look at some new baits and some new options for you guys throughout the weekend here. But with that, we're going to get rolling here and kick off the expo. Alright guys, we're finally getting you those interviews with some of the vendors here that we wanted to get you. So we're featuring a different style of topwater. It's a topper style topwater from Iggy Baits here. This is Ignacio and his family. And you guys recently started working with these topwaters and building them.
That's right. We've been R&D in this for about a year and a half. The mad scientist and I, we've been prototyping this. We finally got something. We got it down to something that we like, a unique sound. What it is that the front pins clack on the blade right here, on the Delta blade, and it's wire through construction, 0.062 wire that goes all the way through the middle, very durable. Every component in the bait is there for a reason. Again, the mad scientist and I, which is Xavier, we call this the Exciter. We're excited to bring this out. This is our first and only show this year. We're excited. We've been well received. Rich has been instrumental with introducing this bait. With you guys, obviously, you guys were an inspiration as well as Jason Smith.
Okay, yeah.
You guys are the ones that kind of got the gears going on this, and we decided to come out with a different type of topper. It's got a unique sound that the fish have not heard before.
Sure, I agree. That's one thing that we like. I mean, there's different style of topwaters out there. You got your prop style, but you don't see a lot of toppers anymore.
That's right.
It's nice to see toppers around. But I mean, it's a great looking bait, awesome paint jobs, and it's nice you guys work on it as a family. And it's good to see you guys are having a good first expo.
Thank you. Yeah, we're humbled to be here. We're excited to be here.
If guys wanted to get a hold of some baits or get a hold of you guys got a Facebook page?
We've got a Facebook page. We've got a website. You could reach out to us. We've got these colors available, or whatever's going to be left after the show.
Sure.
I work a full-time job, so we may not get them over to you ASAP, but we'll get them to you before the ice melts.
That's great. That's all. Whatever you guys can do. That's like us weekend warriors. We're working during the week, fishing on the weekends, and you're building baits on the weekends in your free time.
Got a full-time job.
Got to thank you for your service too. So
thank you.
Thanks. That's Iggy Baits. So be sure and check them out, and we'll move on to the next vendor. Alright guys, so we're making a rod stop here in the Chaos Tackle booth, and we wanted to just kind of touch on, obviously we've been using the assault sticks, whether it be the original line or the 2020 for the last, I don't know how many years, and they've been great to us. But, you know, I think one thing that we could touch on is the different price point.
Sure.
So obviously the assault sticks, the original, are super affordable, great rods, and then you guys came out with the 2020 assault stick. Why the higher price point?
So the higher price point basically reflects the modulus of the graphite of the rod. The 2020 rods have a higher modulus graphite, which is lighter, makes for a lighter rod. It doesn't really change the action that much. It maybe makes it a little bit stiffer, but not much. But the weight is the real advantage. The 2020 rods are maybe a quarter of a pound. I mean, we're looking at 4 ounces lighter, which over a 10, 14-hour day that we're used to fishing makes a huge difference.
And that's one thing, I mean, you notice right from the get-go when you've had, you know, the original assault stick in your hand and you switch to a 2020, there's a definite difference in weight. And like you said, it does make a difference when you're pounding it for, you know, 14 hours a day. Other than that, you guys do offer the new reel seats too.
Yes, the Revo reel seat, the Revolution reel seat, it is. I'm going to try to not hit the ceiling here, but it really takes a lot of the pressure off of your hand. And you know, you and I are used to palming the reel,
right?
And that it does put your wrist at a little bit of a strange angle. With this, instead of holding it like that, you can get your hand down here and kind of wrap your fingers around this little little nub here, and you can actually change this out for something longer if you want something to grab. But I really love fishing these with just a couple fingers around it like that. Keeps your wrist straight instead of bent, and it does take some of that pressure off of it that we're kind of used to dealing with as musky fishermen.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, after a long day of fishing, it starts to build up. So, but yeah, something for you guys to consider as far as if you're in the market for upgrading rods. But we appreciate your info as always. It's always nice to share what's the latest as far as Chaos has with their assault sticks. So once again, thanks again,
buddy.
Brian.
It's good seeing you.
All right, guys, so we wanted to touch base on another different style lure. We actually touched on this in one of our videos with Rich Reiner. It's jigs, so it's something totally different, but it makes sense for musky fishing. And I think it's something that guys can really start utilizing in their lineup or their arsenal for catching muskies. So why don't you touch on kind of what you got here as far as a little bit more close-up of your jigs and then some other things you have on the horizon here.
So jigs are a very underrated bait anymore. You know, it kind of died off a long time ago, and we're trying to re-pioneer this. So this jig is very, very particular to what I like in a jig, and that's the fact that it has body. So if you really look, it's got bucktail in the middle, streamer hair on the outside with tinsel. The reason for that is it gives a pop. You know, it's like one of those. I guess the best way to describe it is it has, you know, purpose when it moves, but then also has motion without motion, kind of like a fly. The jigs is a really good tool to have in pressure water, cold water, things like that. Back home, where we're from in Colorado, we have cold water, you know, and it's all trout water. So to have something that you can throw in front of a fish that's not really willing to bite right away is key. And I know out here you guys have so much more pressured water that to throw something like this in a river, in a lake, man, it's just deadly.
Sure, something totally different. A little different presentation than what's normally being thrown at these fish, you know, Wisconsin, Minnesota, stuff like that. So
and to have a little blade. That's the other thing too, is you're still adding a little bit of thump, a little bit of flash if you decide to pick that. Like we got here, we have, you know, little bronze blades. But these are actually, so the other thing too is about jigs is choosing a style of head, right? So we call these our Beach Boy heads. Why? Because it has a rounded tip. It's like a rounded bullet almost, right? So we do that because when you're fishing sand, silt, things like that, when you hit it, it poofs. Just like when you're lake trout fishing with a tube or something, you're trying to make a commotion, make a target for the fish.
Yeah, disturbance.
Yeah, very similar, but you also got that nice flash too. The jigs are something that I think will eventually, people will eventually want more of.
Sure.
It's one of those things where it won't rip your arm off. If you use a heavy flipping stick for it, some nice thick braid, you're good to go.
Yeah.
What's great is you can put it in front of a fish that normally isn't going to chase a bait.
Right, it might be in the more neutral, inactive state. And
Exactly.
that's all it takes.
And it doesn't have to work that hard for them.
Right.
I always suggest a nice 49 strand wire leader for the jigs, because man, they inhale these things. If you finally get a fish to bite, they're inhaling it.
Yep.
As you can tell, we sold the heck out of our brand new bait this past week.
Right.
This show's been awesome. The amount of guides that came up, we're so blown away with this. It's very simple, but it's an underspin. So we're debuting it for this event. A bunch of walleye guys kept on getting broke off by underspins, and I was using them for lake trout and big trout and things like that back in Colorado, actually through the ice. And said the heck with it. Let's make one that's musky size.
Sure.
So it's a jointed bait, double skirt, nice little blade to put it right in their face.
Yep.
You can swim it right over top of weed beds. You will get caught up right here. That's okay. That's just fine. You rip it through the weeds, and it'll hop. And when it hops is when you get bit a lot of the time.
Sure.
So therefore, you got this. We got this nice big thick tail.
Yep.
Nice big beefy hooks. I double dip and bake all of my heads low and slow. It's a really cool thing to mess around with.
Yeah. A ton of information actually. As far as related to jigs, something totally different to throw into your arsenal.
Explore the realm of jigs. Don't be afraid of it. It's something that you really need to try.
Yeah.
I mean, whether it be my jig or another jig,
Right.
I would definitely give it a shot. Put it in your arsenal because it's another tool.
Good stuff. So we appreciate the information. Cougar Baits. They can find you. Where can they find you?
I have Instagram, Facebook, and a website. So my website is cougarbaitsfishinglures.com. We've been around for about 5 years now, and I plan on sticking around. That's for sure.
Awesome.
We'll be back next year. The people in Wausau are so nice. I can't thank Rich and Mike for putting this on enough. They're freaking awesome.
Definitely.
They did an awesome job with this show. They've taken care of their vendors.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you coming all the way from Colorado. So I hope you guys have a safe trip back. So
thank you for taking time out of your day to come do this and make videos and stuff, and really kind of open people's eyes, man. You guys do such an awesome job.
Thanks.
And you guys catch some nice fish, man.
Well, thanks.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks for the info, man. Alright guys, last stop for the day. We wanted to stop and talk to Tom here. Rich touched on him in one of our other videos as far as some of the awesome baits, great looking baits he makes.
First of all, people need to understand something about Tom. Tom is 70 years old. He's been making baits a long time, but he's one of those guys, those unsung heroes in Wisconsin. I think, like I've mentioned, he's the old guru of musky fishing. But I'm going to tell you, his baits are awesome. They're very hard to come by. As I told you, I don't know. Tom, how was the show for you?
It was great. It was great. Thanks for it.
So let me ask you this: how are people going to get a hold of your baits, after the show?
They're gonna have to call me. I don't post anything online. Call me and order a bait.
Well, it looked like your booth was packed most of the weekend, so that was good to see.
Yep.
And what a fun weekend! What a fun weekend it was. So with that, we're gonna get going here and wrap things up at the Wisconsin Musky Expo. All right, right, guys, we are ready to wrap it up here at the Wisconsin Musky Expo, and what a fun weekend it was. So thank you to all the fans that stopped by, expressed their support for the channel, and gave their feedback. We truly appreciate all those that watch our videos, and we're hoping you guys have a great musky season. We also hope that you guys enjoyed the interviews that we did, and hope you have a great season on the water. We're looking forward to a new season. So with that, we're going to wrap up. We'll see you on the next episode. Thanks for watching. Recording? What else do you want to say?
I already told him what to say.
All right. 3, 2, 1. All right, guys, we are about ready to wrap it up here at the Wisconsin Musky Expo, and what a weekend it was. So much fun.
May I have your attention, please?
All right, guys, we also hope you enjoyed the, we also hope. So thank you to all them, and we truly appreciate all those that stopped by. Stop laughing.